Welcome back, Visions fans. Today we're going to talk very briefly about the new +6 equipment upgrades. I'm not going to do a full deep dive on them, but really just to help get the ball rolling for you, because there are certainly other great resources already that kind of outline some of what it's about. But the gist of it is they've now allowed for certain pieces of equipment, and it's going to iteratively update every week which pieces have +6 upgrades that effectively kind of adjust the equipment for the power creep of the game, which honestly is kind of nice. And it really takes only two very, very important inputs. Now, one of them, you must have one extra recipe of what you already had. So now to +6 a piece of equipment, you will need 64 recipes instead of 63. So for those of you that are this week doing the raid boss revival and you are trying to stack or stock up on recipes here for a lot of this UR gear, although this UR gear does not have the +6 upgrades yet, make sure you have enough that you can +6 it when they do. So definitely make sure to get at least one extra recipe of each. The other thing you need is these new things called heart quartz, and you can acquire that via the Mog shop that we're in right now. I'm getting ahead. I'll talk to you where you can get those though. So effectively, there are two ways today of which you can get them quite easily to get the ball rolling. One of them is just by completing the daily mission. So you can see I've already claimed mine here at the top, but if you were to click into each one of these, you will now see that crafting metal is now a brand new kind of currency that it gives out. So making sure that you do these every single day. And then in the event section here, or I apologize, it's probably the training section, there is a mission there for clearing story 1 part 1 chapter 1 scene 2. So even if you've already completed that, you have to recomplete the stage and it will give you these heart quartz right out of the gate for free. That's not always going to be the case. Otherwise, you're going to have to exchange the metals. So by doing so, once you've acquired certain amounts of metals, and you can do so by not only the missions, but beginning next week in the arena, it will then be one of the arena rewards on a daily basis if you're within the top 1,000. So there's definitely a very nice incentive now to be doing the arena more regularly if you hadn't already. But once you're in the Mog shop, if you kind of scroll down here, the crafting metal section is brand new here, that you can now exchange your metals for these heart quartz. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, okay, that's great, but how many heart quartz do you need for each, yada yada. So you need 10 heart quartz. This is the most rare kind here, you can tell by the currency cost. You need 10 of them for UR pieces of equipment. You need 7 for the next one down, which is the MR level. And then I believe it goes 5 and 3 for the purple and the blue, but I don't remember off the top of my head. And the very quick math of it, if you were to do your 5 medals per day for the missions, and then if for 30 days straight you were to rank in top 1,000 arena, you would get 7 medals per day from that. Add it all together over 30 days, you should be getting 360 medals a month, which means you can either upgrade 2 UR equipment per month or 5 MR equipment per month. So 2 UR per month or 5 MR equipment, or some mix of both, which honestly is a decent enough pace. And if we look at today, which ones initially got the upgrade here, I'm not going to tell you which ones I think you should or shouldn't, but there are a couple that stand out noticeably, and the reason why I would say for now, I would hold off on upgrading any of these to +6, although some of them have some immediate impacts in terms of extra damage output or accuracy added. A lot of these other ones are kind of niche for PvE content, and that they now allow extra maximum damage, which is kind of nice, where formerly you had to get that from a Truststone passive +5, but something like the Dark Gloves, for instance, if you go into here, you'll see now that you can now increase max damage by 1,000 per self. This is one of those ones that probably would not want to be upgrading today because you just don't really have any use for it. But for now, based upon this sample selection of what we have released so far, a few that stand out to me in particular, the Golden Axe, for those axe users, did get a nice damage output one where it now increases crit damage by 10. Do think that's noteworthy. I am a fan of the Magistral Rod 1 upgrade, where you now get 7% light and dark resistance upon equipping it. I am a particularly large fan of the Platinum Rod, a rod that kind of got power crept to some degree, but now this gives you 10% increased agility, and it's not temporary, it's permanent 10% agility throughout the entire battle. I think that's an incredibly great upgrade, particularly for the increased magic stat going up to 195 4. That's nothing to sneeze at anymore. This is definitely a nice big upgrade. And the rest of them are certainly good, but nothing too fancy, nothing that I want to take up more time than I have to in the video. But that's the plus 6 system for now overall. Just some very quick hit tips for anyone that's begun this process. Again, my recommendation, I would wait just a little bit to accumulate more of these medals, see what gets released next week and the week after, and really fine tune which pieces of gear that you need to upgrade, as opposed to, wow, that looks like it could be good, let me do it right now. So that's probably my best advice. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you all soon.